live
Yes,
radio. That is dogged me for a long while, Charlie. But bro, I mean, all has been well.
All is good. All is good, my
Thank God.
brother.
What's happening with Pen Plus Bytes? Election times are always like your busiest times.
Yes, it is very busy. We're doing so many things and wearing different hats.
Okay.
All trying to make sure that we go through a peaceful and credible electoral process.
Wow.
So I mean, we're doing something around the voters compass, which is something.
Yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about.
We're doing youth and media and information literacy.
Okay.
So that the youth will know how to navigate and access information and stay away from being propagators of disinformation. We're going to do also something very, very highly technical called network analysis, which is basically that we'll be looking at social media platforms to see who are the purveyors or the creators or the actors of disinformation and call them out.
Oh, wow.
Because we don't want that during the elections.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so
you're heavy on elections. Why is it a big deal for you? You could make money doing any other thing. What is it with you and elections and all that?
Our democracy in this part of the world has been reduced to electoral democracy.
Okay.
So the reason why I say that is that yes, there has been some level of transparency, inclusivity around elections, but the key bit is accountability, which is still very elusive in our democratic processes. And it's sadly or unfortunately, it's only during elections that we are able to get close to those seeking political office or seeking power.
Okay.
Because that's where they will do door to door, they will do rallies and all that. And it brings out a lot of tensions. There's a lot of attention on all the things that are going on. And for us, we want, at least one of the major things around our elections is around democracy is elections. And,
okay.
We want to make sure that the process goes smoothly, with all these engagements, with all this campaign going on. We want citizens' involvement. We want to create channels and avenues that citizens will own the process. Because at the end of the day, if citizens own the process, then the potential or the likelihood for them to accept the final outcome is very high.
Okay.
So if I'm involved in the voters register, I'm involved in the checking my name is in the register, I'm involved in the LIs that are coming up.
Okay.
I understand what is going on. I'm involved in the political party manifestos. Some political parties are actually reaching out to.
Yeah, I've been in a number of meetings where
town hall meetings. Then you are right through all the electoral continuum. To the point where if results are being announced, then that
you can't say you won't accept.
So yes, we're throwing sunshine on the process. Making sure that there's transparency, ownership of the process by all of us.
Okay.
Then at the end of the day, then you can't say no. Somebody swerved me. In here somewhere, somebody voted twice because you are part of it.
Okay.
And you don't have an excuse not to accept the process. So that's how we are big on that.
I
want
understand.
to eliminate all the challenges and roadblocks and hindrances that makes the process smooth.
And you use tech a lot.
Exactly. Because tech is a breaker of some of the barriers.
Okay.
Of involvement and participation. So I don't have to queue to go and see a political aspirant. I don't have to go and print a hard copy of a manifesto to know what is in it. Technology will bring it at your doorstep. You can see it on social media. You can get it as SMS. And then also use tech to engage with the political party actors as well.
So in that part of the world, we literally worship our politicians. But you say this is not what happens elsewhere and we need to change it. Is it a cultural thing? Is it that we are born to worship those in power? So whether you voted them and they are supposed to serve you or not, we know they get.
In a bit, it's a cultural thing, and also over time we have made it so.
Oh, wow.
So we did a project in one of the constituencies, Abradunkwa.
Okay.
And we deployed.
Oh, I've been there. Central region.
Yes, Central region. And we deployed technology that will enable citizens in the communities access the district assembly's development plans and budgets. So you don't have to go to the DC's office, if you want your road fixed or you want to, advocate for a cheap compound in your area, or you even want to, assess what is in the development plan. And we made all this available online.
Okay.
So you know what is in your development plan, you know what is in your action plan, and you know what is in your annual budget. That this year, the assembly is supposed to construct a chip compound in my area. You're supposed to construct a market in my area. Once you have that information, then once you get the opportunity to do a radio phoning program, you can demand accountability. You know. And with all this information, we're also expecting the citizens that, okay, be the eyes on the ground from what you know from the information that we've given you. You know, so you don't have to go to the just assembly to demand. But people still, you know, with all the technology that we deployed, they still, you know, our culture is that, I mean, if you want something from an elder, it is respectful to engage them. So that is still the way that we are contending with. And people will still go and queue at DC's office. You know, so it's a cultural thing, but once in a while,
we want to see the DC.
Exactly, you know, and get a direct feedback, a direct response. But technology is trying to, you know, bridge that, you know, that gap a bit. And over time, I'm sure, especially with these Gen Zs and how they've taken up on tech, we'll be able to, you know, do things fully online.
Do you get worried as someone who is heavy in peace and misinformation challenges around elections? You get worried when things like what happened in Parliament? Do you you know the way I picture you, like you're behind your machine working and you have one eye on what is happening in Parliament? Do you get worried when these rhetorics are happening around elections?
Yes, very, very much so. I mean, yesterday I was worried, especially when I saw that, you know, ordinary people just started massing up at Parliament, you know, wearing party T-shirts and all of that. And what straight away came to mind is that, I mean, we already know that the stakes are very high in this particular elections. It's very, very close. And if, you know, something that is just to do with Parliament, you know, we are able to mobilize people to go to the, you know, presence of Parliament, then what happens at the polling stations when somebody just, you know, misinforms or disinforms that EC has intentionally not sent ballot, you know, papers or box or you know, just sticks to a particular polling station? What will happen? You know, those are some of the things that is getting me worried. You know, and all this actually, you know, raises anxiety of the general populace. And I think that there should be measures. We should still engage, especially the media. We should, whenever we get opportunity to engage in the politicians, we should engage them that, you know, and then orient them that all these things doesn't, you know, bode well for our body politic, and we should just let the processes work.
Mr. Jerry Sam is with Pen Plus Bytes. Every election, something exciting coming up. What are you doing this election? It's something about manifestos and compasses and all that. What is it that you are coming up with?
Okay, so we are deploying today. We are launching our Voters Compass. So it's voterscompass.africanelections.org.
It's called Voters Compass.
Yes, Voters Compass.
What kind of compass?
So it's basically to direct, you know, literally to direct you through the manifestos of the various political parties, which of the political manifestos best serves your aspirations.
As an individual?
As an individual, as a voter. Best serves your aspirations, and then you'll be more informed when you are casting your vote. Because you know, when I'm voting for this particular party, I know that they are going to use digitalization to fight corruption. I know that they are going to, you know, create a sovereign fund. I know that they are going to drag the sea to Kumasi if that's what I want. You know, so how it works is that we've dived deep into all the manifestos.
How many manifestos did you use?
Ooh. So some of them
are all the people standing have manifestos?
Not all of them. Some of them we pick them actually online through some of them
statements they've made.
Okay, all right. Some of them, you know, YouTube interviews that they've done.
Okay.
You know, and basically we sifted through all of them and created questions around various thematic areas: education, health, governance, employment, infrastructure, what have you. You know, so all those thematic areas have questions. So a question will be asked that, do you want a flat rate tax? And you answer simple yes or no.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, I'm answering.
Do you want a 24-hour economy? You answer simple yes or no. Do you want a new sovereign fund to be created? Answer yes or no. All these questions are coming from the manifesto.
Okay.
So you are taking through a series of questions coming from the manifesto.
How many questions? Plenty.
So yes, initially when we started, we had loads of questions, but then
you have to bring them down.
The process of actually, you know, doing the compass was also to engage the political parties. So we set the questions, and then we went to each of the, you know, political parties that have the manifestos and asked them to respond to the questions that we have set from all the various
manifestos.
Some of them, interestingly, responded yes to some of their opponents' questions.
Oh wow.
Yes.
It means they like the other person's
exactly.
policies.
You know, so it could be that indirectly they haven't stated in their manifestos, but you know, maybe it's linked to another promise of theirs.
Okay.
So there was a lot of some agreements in some of the questions. So if you know all of them are saying yes to
it means that no matter who wins,
yes, it's going
that
to be
thing
done.
will happen.
So
yeah.
those questions were taken out of the
Oh,
questions.
okay.
So in the end, we have 24 questions.
24 questions.
Yes. So you go through all the 24 questions, all based on your aspirations of what you want to see or experience in your life. If, for instance, you want your university students go first year, they don't pay, you say yes. Flat rate, you say yes. You know, at the end of the day, the platform will give you a percentage score based on your responses.
Okay.
And the percentage score will align you to all the political parties. So you can say that you are 90% aligned to political party A, 80% aligned to political party B, 0% aligned to
Means
party.
when you go to the post, don't go near that
Don't
party.
go down near party
if
because
you
it
want
doesn't
to
serve your needs at all.
Wow.
So based on the percentage score, then you know which political party will best serve your interest if you vote for them.
Throw me the link. I'm going there. What's the name again?
So Voters Compass, one word, voterscompass.africanelections.org.
voterscompass.africanelections.org. I'm here.
So we go in and then you see Vote Swiper.
I've seen
Voters Compass.
I've seen Start Voters Compass.
Correct. So
but first of all, let me be interested in the parties here. The NPP, the Great Consolidated Popular Party, Ghana Freedom Party, Ghana Union Movement, Liberal Party of Ghana, National Democratic Party, Convention People's Party, National Democratic Congress, All People's Congress, Kofi Cranton Independent, George Chumberimado Independent, Nana Kwame Bediako Independent, and Alan John Kojo Tremantin Independent. So we have what? 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 here. So now we go to Start Voters Compass.
Yes.
So I'm starting Voters Compass. Start Voter Swiper. Vote Swiper.
Mm-hmm. So it's basically you swipe it.
Okay.
Especially if you're using your phone.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Amazing. 24 questions.
Yes.
Question 1. Should the next government introduce around-the-clock production and services to create 3-shift jobs for many Ghanaians? Then I'll answer yes or no.
Yes.
Then I'll go to the next question.
Correct.
Okay. Then 24 questions.
Yes.
And then at the end of it. So I'm going to
give
do
you a
this.
percentage score at the end of it. And then the percentage score will tell you which political party best serves your interest, which ones are more aligned to your interest.
Wow.
Yes.
Everybody should go and do this.
You see, we tried as much as possible. Even those that did not have a manifesto, we tried to be very, very inclusive. So even if they've made 1 or 2 statements around a particular issue, on my way in here, one of the political, aspirants is saying that his focus is actually on the visa from the foreign embassies.
Okay.
They should, when he wins, he's going to make sure that if you don't get a visa, he's going to make sure that your monies are refunded.
Hey, we'll vote for that guy. We'll vote for whoever he is.
There should be explanation as to why they refuse so that they can prepare better
next time.
Yeah, exactly. So that's, but all of them are included.
Whilst we're doing this interview, I'll take this test. I'll do this thing so that at the end of the interview, I'll know which party I should vote for.
Correct.
But this should tell every Ghanaian that it's now about issues.
Correct.
No more party colors. No more. Look at your own life, what you want to achieve. Go and do this. votecompass.africanelections.org. Please go there and go and do Voter Compass or Vote Compass. What's the name again? Yes, please go there. I beg you. I'm doing mine. Yes. So now let's go back to this. How important, therefore, should political parties now begin to look at their manifestos? Because over the years, manifestos have been like, let's do it for the netting crowd. They won't even look at it. How important are manifestos now going forward?
That's a very good question, Jerry. So, like you mentioned, in the past, it's almost like a tick in the box process. We also have a manifesto, and so what? And then they come into power. Some time back, through this work that we've been doing with our African Elections Project, we started doing the post-elections analysis for the party that actually won. We picked up their manifestos post-elections. And then once they realized that somebody is looking at their manifesto, they said, no, this is not a version. And, in the end, it became a King James version and a new Good News version.
Okay.
But now that we're throwing a lot of light on manifestos, it means that when you are doing your manifestos, you need to make sure that whatever you are doing is concrete. The promises that you are, telling the people are feasible. Do you have the political will to implement it? Because what we are doing is that we want people to look at manifestos as actionable commitments.
Okay.
And not just mere, words on a paper.
Actionable commitments.
Exactly. So that when you come into power, people already have this at their fingertips. And one of the observations that we've also seen, which I'm sure you've also noticed, that even billboards these days, even for parliamentary candidates, they have a bit of their policies.
Yeah.
Exactly.
These days,
this is new.
yeah.
This is new. Which is good. So it means that our political discourse is, driving more towards policies. And I mean, I'm doing a little bit of media monitoring, and you are finding less and less personality discussions. Who is tall? Who is short? Who is handsome? Who is ugly? That sort of conversation is getting out of
it's now going away.
And we are now questioning and diving deep into, okay, you say 24-hour economy. How are you going to, implement that? You say you're going to do a flat rate tax. How is that going to be? You're going to reduce port duties and taxes. How are you going to raise revenue to implement the other things that you are promising? So we are diving deep into manifestos now, so that we make sure that the manifestos are not just whimsical, aspirations and dreams of somebody coming in. Even the one that promised that it's going to drag the sea to Kumasi. As soon as he got interrogated, he managed to fine-tune it to say that no, it's river bodies he's going to dredge for river transport. So, you move away from those sort of...
We've moved beyond the sensationalism.
Exactly. And so that's the whole idea behind this. To make sure that citizens have access, engage, and hold you to bearers to account on the promises that they make.
After you've answered, I've finished answering my 24 questions.
You want to tell us?
No, wait, I haven't gotten there yet. When you finish answering, then you also have put in place a system where I can decide which parties I want them to answer.
To compare.
To compare to.
Yes, so you can pick just one party. Maybe that is where you actually stand.
So you want to know whether your aspirations,
actually
your party would be able to.
And then you also have the option, the system gives you the option to compare parties' positions on each question that you've answered.
But you would say,
you can take all.
Take
then
all.
It can give you all the parties and a percentage.
I'm taking all. Probably there is an independent who might win me there. Take me to where I want to get.
The third force.
If I told you my results, you'd be amazed. It's an independent candidate.
Oh, really?
I'm kidding. I'm not kidding.
That's nice.
Yes.
So that's it. So I mean, it helps us that we also break that duopoly within our politics to know that yes, there are alternatives that can.
Oh wow!
Yes.
Every voter should please pick your phone wherever you are. Vote compass.africanelections. Voters compass.africanelections.org.
Yes. It's an eye opener. I mean, when I also took it, I also had an independent candidate.
Yeah, I'm seeing an independent candidate. Trust me, I'm going to vote for this person if I enter the polling booth. I'm telling you. If I enter a polling booth, I'm going to vote for this person. Mm-hmm. If you say I waste my vote, I don't care.
Yes, but because this person is going to serve your aspirations based on the questions you answered, the responses that you gave.
Wow. Charlie, this is good, man. Yes. Pen plus bytes. This is solid.
This and drive it, far and deep. So I mentioned that we'll be doing, and one of the things that we're doing also is policy dialogues. So I mean, the manifestos come. Some of them are online. You can get access to. Like I mentioned earlier, some of them we couldn't find, but we don't want to leave any political party or aspirants behind. We want to be as inclusive as possible, and also we don't want to leave those offline. Is also out of it. So that's why we're doing the face-to-face policy dialogues, where we bring in the general public to interact with those seeking office and then ask all the relevant questions and make sure that they also understand the positions of the political parties.
Voterscompass.africanelections.org. Please go there. Voterscompass.africanelections.org. Mr. Sam, have the political parties seen this?
Yes, so those that opened their doors, so the principal ones have seen it because we actually went to their office. We walked in their office with the questions and asked them to respond to it.
And you told them what you were going to do with the questions?
Exactly. And they've been invited to today's program at UPSA.
Wow. Amazing. I'm voting for an independent candidate. So says my results. No, not me, myself. The results said so. So what are the promotional, or what are you planning to do to ensure that every voter, because you know what the interesting thing about this is, I could sleep the whole of now till December 7th, and on my way to the polling booth, I pick my phone, I do votercompass.africanelections.org, and by the time I get to the polling station, I'll know who to vote for.
And you know, there's a significant number of floating voters who actually in the end become deciders. So if they do what you're just describing, that they're just going to just tune off.
No, we'll listen to anybody. We'll just do voter.
On my way to the what's it called, the polling station. This is how I feel.
Yes.
This is how I want my next 4 years to be. I go on the compass, take it, close my eyes, based on what the compass result is, which political party is serving best my aspirations. I vote for that political party, and I'm on. And if we're able to do this, I mean, those public office holders, or the government appointees, they'll start taking us serious, because now they know that we are demanding accountability. We are watching how they perform whilst they are in office, and based on their performance, achieving their promises or fulfilling their promises, then the potential that more people will vote for them is high.
Mr. Jerry Sam, is it possible that my answers gave me a very popular independent candidate, because probably
I'm starting to guess who.
no, if you can't guess, I beg you, go and do your own.
Yeah.
Go and do your own. Is it possible that this independent candidate has sat down and looked at all the manifestos of the major parties and picked the very best? Because I think my answers are sound.
So yes, because this is what you want to see Ghana to be.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it could also be that the person has ears on the ground, engaged a lot of citizenry, understand their aspirations and their needs, and crafted their manifestos around that. And basically moved away from, all this populist and sensational rhetorics, and developed a very concrete manifesto, as you're saying.
Interesting.
Yeah. So there are systems in place to make sure that it's not also gamed. So that's how come we engage the political parties. We refer to their manifestos directly. So everything that you see on the Voters Compass is coming directly from the manifestos.
Voters Compass, don't forget it. Just go to voterscompass.africanelections.org. You're calling it voterscompass.africanelections. Is it because you have plans of taking this thing out of,
So we already have African Elections Project, which we actually established since 2008. And the African Elections Project, to date, including these elections, will be our 18th elections across the continent. So it's already a project that we're running across the continent, and we are infusing the Voters Compass into it. So the African Election Project has a lot of building blocks. One of it is, building the capacity of journalists to use new media tools to cover elections, creating platforms and tools for citizens to participate in the electoral processes, working with electoral management bodies by deploying an early warning system, to curb potential violence and irregularities. So, the African Elections Project is all that. So this is just one component of the African Elections Project. And I mentioned already, we have the media and information agency as well, where we are building the capacities of the youth to know how to navigate the news media and terrain, how they can be creators of news as well, and not be purveyors of this information. Yeah.
Okay. Good work being done by Pen Plus Bytes to ensure that citizens begin to see their future in these manifestos. Because trust me, there are people who never read manifestos.
No.
They couldn't be bothered.
Yes.
So you've done 90% of their work for them.
Looking at the key areas that resonates with them. So you don't have to read the whole bulky manifesto.
Just go answer the questions. Someone has already deciphered everything and put them in boxes for you. So based on the answers you give, you know who to vote for and who not to vote for. What if the parties begin to take this and campaign with it?
All the better.
That a majority of people have done voter swipe and vote swiper, and I am the one leading, that will help you.
So that data is not available to them though. So
okay.
You won't know, the number of people that are more aligned to you.
Oh, okay.
So this is for us. This is just for the citizens to know where
People's personal, because
Yes.
your vote is actually
Yes.
your power.
Yes, you're not sharing
for
the
you.
data of the person leading in terms of percentage wise, more the number of citizens aligned to a political party. The core of this is that we want to like a compass, direct you to which political party best serves your aspiration.
Can this also then be used? So probably after you as Pen Plus Bytes, because you are the back office,
Yes.
you seeing who is getting higher.
More percentages.
Good.
Yes.
Can this be an indication of if, and a big if that is, if Ghanaians are to vote by their personal aspirations, can you know who would win the election?
Yes. Yes. But that information is not available to the public.
Of course, I mean-
or to the public, to the political parties.
Neither would you even go out and say you've done a poll.
No, exactly. It's not. Yes, the idea is not a poll at all. Yeah, just basically to direct you to dive deep into the manifestos, know their political positions, their policy positions, and then vote accordingly.
But by this device that you've created, if Ghanaians, and it's a big if, capital If, with font size 35, if it's a very big if Ghanaians are not to vote according to tribe, according to colors, according to religion, and they are voting strictly according to their aspirations, Pen Plus Bytes will know who would win the elections.
Correct.
That's all I wanted. That's the clarity I wanted. It's been an amazing thing. So what are we to expect to the other event?
So today we actually have the launch of the platform, and then we'll go straight into policy dialogues with selected political parties. So we have the two leading political parties. We have two independent aspirants representatives also on the panel.
Okay.
And we are going to go deep into their manifesto policy positions. Some of them, some of the promises, as you probably are aware, are quite vague. So we are going to ask them to, clarify, and then basically, provide some transparency, tell us how they developed their manifestos, what informed it, what citizens should expect if they are given a mandate to rule Ghana. So
Oh, wow.
that's what we're gonna have. So it's a very brief but very going to be very engaging and vibrant conversation.
And it's happening where?
UPSA at 9:30.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's impressive. Pen Plus Bytes always doing some magic stuff during elections. This time around, it's called voterscompass.africanelections.org. Go there and take the vote swiper, and you find out who. If you were actually good, and I'm saying it's a big if, not you enter and then the Holy Spirit, no, not that one. I'm saying if you are voting according to your personal aspirations of what you want to see Kwame Nkrumah's Ghana become, there is someone that a platform will tell you that this is the right person to vote for. That is what Mr. Jerry Sam just told us. It also means that if you're going to go by this platform, regardless of the individual's personality or whatever you know of the person, all you are saying, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
This is what you're supposed to do if you're voting according to
And this is
aspiration.
documented. So once you win power, we can hold you to it. We can hold you to it and demand accountability.
That would be fantastic.
Yes.
Mr. Jerry Sam, thank you so much for coming through. It's been a while and it's great to see you in our studios once again. And we wish you the very best of luck with
Thank you very
Voters
much.
Compass, africanelections.org. Thank you very, very much. Just 5 minutes to the top of the hour. It means right about now, we're going for that quick lecture. And when we come back, it's good.